What's up, y'all? Nurse Neil here. So, you want to pass the NCLEX. You might need to do that to be a nurse. It's pretty important. I think, so I have some suggestions on, at least in my opinion, of what you need to do to prepare yourself for the NCLEX. First and foremost, the biggest thing about these tests is to not freak or psych yourself out. That is the biggest thing. I would consider myself to be a pretty good test taker on standardized tests. And one thing that, I always go into the tests a little bit nervous, but I don't let it get to me. And I know that's easier said than done, but you gotta just prepare yourself and not freak out. Get a good bit of rest the night before. Don't stay up all night cramming for a standardized test. That's the stupidest thing ever. You're just gonna make yourself lose concentration easily. Just make sure you devote a good amount of time to sleep, like they always tell you in school. Just make sure you get 8 hours of sleep the night before, eat a good breakfast, all that basic shit. But on top of that, I would say that the one thing that's going to help you out the most is going to be practice questions. Lots and lots of practice questions. Get one of those apps, that they have out there. There's tons of them. Can't think of the name of it right now, but don't spend a fortune on it either. Get one of those apps. Hopefully, I think there might be some free ones out there that have tons of questions on them that you can use. And I think I might have paid like $30 for one, but it had like 10,000 questions. And just do those like as many as you can in a day. Not as many as you can, but devote a solid hour or two each day doing those questions. Another thing is the review sessions that they have. I know there's various ones, but we did one right after I graduated. They had one, you pay like $200 and then it's, they give you a book and it has like blanks in it, and there's a person who comes in and gives you tips and stuff. They're really good tips. These courses are worth the money if you have it, but it is like $200. But it's intense for like 3 days. They do this with you, and I want to say it's several hours each day, maybe like 5 hours a day. And you go in and you just read through this entire book, and it has all these blanks, and so it makes you actively listen with these instructors, and they go through the whole thing with you, every body system, all that good stuff, what to look for, what type of questions they might ask. They give you a few sample questions at the end. So that review session was really great. Unfortunately, I just can't pay attention for shit, so I didn't pay attention the whole time, and it could have been a lot more worth my while, but I think it is definitely worth $200 if you have it. If you don't have $200, don't fear. I think I would have passed the NCLEX regardless of if I would have taken that class or not. So, practice questions, review session, and then those practice questions, they're going to prompt you to go back and maybe look at some stuff that you don't remember, like if it's EKG stuff, but don't go back and try to reread all, these textbooks and stuff and relearn everything. Just look and see what you're not doing well on in the practice questions. These apps will tell you what questions you get wrong, and what they break it down for you by like body system or by like different types of questions, like which ones you got wrong, and go back and review that stuff that you got wrong. Just go back and review that stuff only. You got all the other shit right. Just go back and review the stuff you don't know. Just like it could be as simple as just Googling it. Just for EKGs especially. They have like an EKG simulator online. It goes through every single rhythm with you. It tells you why the patient might be in that rhythm, how to fix it, what it looks like, gives you little quizzes. It's totally free. If you type in ECG simulator, it'll be one of the first links that pops up. Anyway, so go back and review the stuff that you don't do well on in those practice questions. Otherwise, that's all you really have to do. And then I will say, as far as your strategy goes, you have to have a strategy for preparing for the test. So don't study hard, and then take your test 2 months later. You need to be actively studying right before you take your test. Like, if you're graduating in May, try to shoot to schedule your test like a month or two after you graduate if you can. That way all that shit's fresh in your mind. If you're going to take the review session, take the test shortly after the review session, because it's all going to be fresh in your mind. Don't procrastinate. Don't put it off. And you want to do all those practice questions leading right up to the test. You want to intensely study. You don't want to space it all out over 3 months, lying to yourself, saying that I've been studying for 3 months. People tell me that all the time. They're like, I don't know what happened. I've been studying for 3 months and I totally failed the NCLEX. It's like, bitch, no, you haven't been studying for 3 months. I've seen you. You've been partying for 3 months and just and intermittently you go around and you open a book and read a couple things, couple of days, and then you say you've been studying hard. Don't fool yourself, just really crack down for 2 weeks. Crack down for 2 weeks and study hard and take the NCLEX and you'll do fine. So just prepare properly like that. You don't have to do tons and tons of studying like people say. You don't have to go to a review session if you don't want to. You can pass it without a review session. You just have to review things on your own. And then, of course, just the day before, make that a relaxing day and then get yourself some good sleep. And you'll do fine. Just don't freak out. If you freak out, you're not going to do well. And then when you're leaving the test center, you just fucking pick up your heavy balls that you acquired along the way and stroll out that bitch like you just owned it. And that's all I have to say.